Morning, Abotai. There's an interesting sugya that begins in the Gemara. It's actually Mishnah. Masechet Avodah Zarah Daf Lamed Amud Bet continues on Daf Lamed Chet with regards to the rabbinic injunction of bishule goyim, which means foods that were cooked by a non-Jew. The Chachamim prohibited consuming foods that were cooked by a non-Jew for several reasons. Rashi HaKadosh brings down two reasons for this. Number one is because of assimilation. When we begin to eat foods together with goyim and we start getting closer, that will lead to mingling, eventually intermarriage and assimilation. The Chachamim were concerned about that, so they made this boundary. Another reason is because they were concerned that Shemi Yachilenu Davar Tameh. They're concerned that when goyim prepare foods for Jews, they're not so careful about kashrut, and therefore they could mix in to the kosher food. They could mix in foods that are not kasher for us, and bimachshil otanu, cause us to transgress the isurim of things that are forbidden to eat. And therefore the Chachamim said anything, well, we'll speak about tomorrow a little bit further, but almost anything cooked by a non-Jew is forbidden to eat. Now, we've already learned in the past in terms of basar bechalav, milk and meat, chametz on Pesach, things of that nature. When you have food which is asur, and then you cook it in certain vessels, those vessels absorb the flavor and become asur. The same happens according to Maran Shulchan Aruch, Yoreh De'ah Siman Kuf Yud Gimal. Maran holds that if a goy cooks food, even perfectly kosher food, in a Jew's pots, those pots become asur. They have now absorbed forbidden food, and therefore a person will have to kasher them. A person will have to go through either libun or haga'ala, or well, not irui, but either libun or haga'ala, depending on the method of cooking, in order to kasher those vessels. Even in terms of, let's say sometimes there are, you have earthenware, you have china, you have porcelain, things of that nature, and the goy cooked in that, in general, those things can't be kashered. So what do you do about that? Maran Zochron Bercha writes in Alichot Olam Chelik Zayin that over there, since Bishul Akum is only in Isur D'Rabbanan, a person can be mekil to do Haga'ala 3 times to porcelain or china vessels and kasher them from the Isur of Bishul Akum. Now, not in all situations will kelim have to be kashered from Bishul Akum. So a person, if he has a legitimate shaila, you should ask a Moreh Hora'ah, because sometimes there are room for kula. Zat Hashem will continue in the following days. Have a wonderful day.